So maybe you're leaving corporate America, or you're an enterprising veteran that's leaving the military. Thank you for your service, by the way. Or you're coming from another country and you need a really great business and you need to make a decent amount of income. One of the beauties of buying an existing business is you get to start at making money when you take over the business, especially when you've done your due diligence and you buy the right business. So this is Brian Stevens with Buy a Six-Figure Business. And the tip center that I'm going to refer you to is at BuyBizFL.com. So I'm going to help people that are looking to buy a business to sort through the garbage, the nonsense, the craziness that you're going to find on all the other websites, BizQuest, Business for Sale, BizBuySell, blah, 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 all these other places, and go to a place where you can sort of sort through what has good records versus what doesn't have good records. And it's a lot simpler than what you see out there. Those other websites are great. They have a purpose, but they're also trying to sell you franchises and sell you books and games and all these other sort of things out there, and they don't really represent the details. Now, this is only good for the state of Florida. I'm located in the state of Florida currently. I just did a deal up in Maryland. I do stuff all over the country, but right now I'm going to focus on how to get into the marketplace for Florida. So we're going to go to the internet, and we're going to type in BuyBizFL. That's for Florida.com. You can sort of see my company, Legacy Venture Group, already starting to form up there, BuyBizFL.com. And we click on there, you're going to go to this website. Okay, it's going to take you there. This is going to be for everybody. Go to Google, go to whatever server you like out there, type in BuyBizFL.com, and you're going to find the type of information that's going to help you quite a bit. I'm going to click on a couple different things. Let's say that you want to find someplace and you're kind of open to where you want to be in the state of Florida. But if you weren't, you could always pull up by county, and this is listed by county. And if you don't know what county is where, you can also type into Google and type in Florida county map, and it'll show you, hey, guess what? Orlando, and it has a couple counties in there, Orange and Osceola. So I'm going to check those. But I also might want to be over towards the Gulf Coast, Pasco, Pinellas, and that sort of thing. I'm going to pick a handful of counties. I'm located over in the Hillsborough County area, but we have a lot of great stuff all along here. So I'm just going to pick a handful of counties that I've already looked on the map because I sort of know the area. I'm also going to pick up Sarasota and Manatee. Love it down that way. And now I'm going to think through the different industries that I'd like to work on. And if I don't know what industries I want to work on, then I can do the following. I can take in all categories, but realize that there's probably some industries that are just not going to be that great of a fit for you no matter what. It could be in the medical industry, although people could buy a medical business and not be industry, maybe a law firm, etc. But on the other hand, you might say, there's things I never really thought of before. If it was good enough, I'd be considering it. So I'm going to start off with picking all categories. But if you're specific and you want to only be in agricultural, you can click on agriculture, etc. Let me show you one other thing if you're really, really specific about something. I'm going to click on animals and pets for a second. You can come over to this bar over here and do even further detail research and say, well, I only want places that offer a kennel and dog training. I don't want something with an aquarium, but I also might get into grooming, etc. And you can pick the specific categories that interest you. However, I'm going to go back and I'm going to pick return without making a selection. Go back, please. And you can always hit this back arrow, go back a little bit, and go back. I'm going to pick all categories. Okay, so I have nothing selected except for everything. I've got my counties already selected out there. And by the way, to hit multiple ones, you hit your command key. I'm doing this on a Mac, but the equivalent of that on your computer, you'll be able to highlight more. And if you want to get rid of I just got rid of all the ones out there. But what I was saying is you could highlight on the thing and click on the one that you've chosen if you want to erase it or not. So anyway, so you've got all these different categories on here that are useful. And now I want to go down to look at the important stuff out there. Selling price, we're going to keep that kind of minimum selling price I don't really care about. But let's say that we want to go to making an adjusted net. Remember I said that we can pick out businesses that are making at least six figures. Well, I might want to go a little above that. Let's say we want to go to businesses making at least $150,000. One of the reasons is I need to make at least six figures. I want to go a little higher than that because I'm also going to look for stuff that is financed by the banks, if I can find any right now, because if you can find an SBA finance business, you're going to be, well able to buy a whole lot more business. Okay, you could put criteria about I want at least minimum gross sales of at least $1 million or something like that. I'm going to pick $1 million, or I'll pick 750,000 just to be fun. And I could also type in a certain number here, $850,000, if that was the criteria that was important to me. If you were looking for something specific, maybe you were back to the animals and pets and you only want to do ones that handled iguanas. You could type in iguana, IG, whatever, and you could find, and it'll sort through the categories of that sort of thing. I wouldn't worry too much about the days on the marketplace, but here's where I'm going to get to the key things. I want to make sure that the business I look for are going to have taxes and financials to support them, and I want to make sure that they are lender pre-qualified. See this, lender pre-qualified? And that's only after I've opened up that red box where I said more search engine options. Now let's see what we've got. I picked a number of categories between the Orlando market area and over to the coast and down to Sarasota County. I've opened my ideas to all different categories in terms of what I want to choose, but I want to be making at least $150,000. I want that the seller to have good books and records, so I put taxes and P&Ls, and believe me, there's all kinds of categories that would make your skin crawl in some cases, and I've chosen lender pre-qualified. Let's click on that and see if we have anything here. Okay, so we've got a few things. We actually have 17 businesses that meet that criteria. I'm looking already on here and thinking that maybe optometrist is not going to be able to reach a large, wide assortment of people that are on this video, but we can go through and see what we've got. Here we see in green, it'll verify, yep, it's lender pre-qualified. We didn't check this, but if you're looking for a visa from another country, in purple it'll say, may qualify for visa, and it'll give you the highlights. They're asking $750,000. This has a down payment of 10%. Of course, you need to qualify for the loan, and you need to be a U.S. citizen or green card holder. You've got to be able to demonstrate to the banks that you've got the ability to pay the bank back still and make enough money from you that you're earning based on how much it's showing that it's profiting. And you also have to demonstrate that you would be a good fit for running this business. So you've been a school teacher, now you're working on a nuclear material handling or materials, etc. You're going to have to write a really incredible resume and say, I taught poetry and English, but really I handle nuclear waste materials like a king, and here's why. I grew up with on a farm where we were doing that all the time, or what have you. Okay, I'm just going on for nonsense, but the criteria are decent credit, ability of the business to pay you back, pay the bank back first of all, and you back, and it depends on your lifestyle. Some people are getting by on $60,000 a year, and some people can't barely get by on $600,000 a year because they've got so many payments, car payments, home payments, or mortgage payments, what have you. It's specific to you. And then you need to be able to demonstrate through the SBA and to the banks why you would be a good fit. And if your resume isn't in a way that the chronological aspects have led you up to buying this business, then you need to create what they call a functional resume. So it sort of talks about, here's my skills in running automotive repairs because I've been problem solving. I got an engineering background, blah, 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 blah. I worked in the industry. My dad had an auto repair shop growing up. I know how to tear cars apart and rebuild them in a heartbeat with my eyes closed, whatever that type of thing is. Now, looking through these different businesses, you might say, some say, not a CPA. I don't think a kennel's what I really, really want. Auto repair, you might want to look at the details and say, let's keep looking. Pressure cleaning, I don't know. Construction. Now, construction ones, and there's other businesses like it, are going to require that you get a license, and sometimes you got to work for a year or 2 or sometimes 4. I think there's even a few that require as much as 6. How are you going to work around not having the license if you don't already have it? Financially related, a title company, would that be a good fit for you? Window coverings. So you might say, hey, I like this window coverings business. I want to learn more about it. Tree service, I want to learn more about it. Window manufacturing, yeah, I want to learn more about it. So you can do the following. Let's just pick this. I'm going to go through and look through the different ones. Optometrists. Let's just look at pool service and say, hey, I think I can handle a pool service business. This is over in Polk County, and you realize that that's sort of a little bit in between the Orlando market and the Tampa market, and you're like, that could fit well. My family would like that. You can click on here for details. See this down here? Click on that. Click. And now it's going to highlight even more details, and it's going to lay it out. Hey, we're asking 550. Down payment needs to be 141. The net profit is 183, and the sales last year or the last 12 months that this was calculated were $577,681. You might do some math in your head and say this seems like a reasonable return. I've seen people that have crazy numbers where they own a restaurant and they're keeping half of the gross sales as profit. And that rarely happens. Any more than 15%, 20% might be likely, but anything that's crazy. So you sort of need to know a little bit about this. This is why it's good to get a hold of a good intermediary or broker that's looked at sold, not for sale, but sold businesses to find comparables and find out what's going on in the industry. Then you look down this detail. Pool business with 6 full-time routes, owner performing and repairs and service calls, 40-year plus business, both commercial and residential. Okay, so you look at all these different things. Is it relocatable? They say yes, meaning that you could probably be in the area, but you have to, and you live on your own house. Is it home based? In this case, the guy's running it out of his home, so you could buy a house somewhere in the area and run it from there. It's not a franchise. Lender pre-qualified. Yes, that was what we were looking for. Qualify for Visa, extra bonus, but isn't really going to qualify and going to help anybody that isn't looking for a Visa. Okay, accounts receivable. All their clients pay up in cash, but their accounts receivable, you'd ask, are some of those accounts receivable coming to me as a buyer? If so, how much? You need to know that because you need to fund the business, right? Inventory, there's some pool chemicals. Does that come with the business? They check yes, and that means you got $1,500 worth of chemicals. What if it's more chemicals there at the closing? What if you use $5,000 worth of chemicals, $3,500 more than what they included? Well, then you would owe them another $3,500. What if there were no pool chemicals? What if they just wiped them all out and the truck flipped down the hill on the way down and it wiped out all the chemicals? Well, then they would discount the business by $1,500, or whatever the amount is that's included as inventory. FF&E is furniture, fixtures, and equipment. Okay, that's all the stuff like the trucks, the vehicles, the brushes, any other things that come with the business. It says leasehold. Well, this was home-based business, but if it were like a restaurant or a doctor's office, you'd think about what it takes to turn that empty shell into a reasonable business that fits their need with leasehold expenses. And so they're talking about that, but that doesn't apply for something that's a home-based business. Real estate is not included in this. Sometimes it's an optional, so sometimes yes, and might be a or for available if it's available, and there you've got it. So the last step you want to do is you want to go apply for this business and find out, I want to learn more about it. They're going to ask you to sign a non-disclosure agreement. They're going to ask you a little bit of information about you, if you have a company name, your contact name, your address, city, so blah, 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 all the basic information, and you can see in red it's required your name, your email, your message. And I would include your cell phone number for sure too, because every once in a while, and I've done this before, somebody's got one letter missing on their email they sent to us, or for some reason our computers aren't hooking up, and it's good for them to call you up and say, hey, I'm trying to send you an email. For some reason it's not working, and I want to share with you information. You can put in a little note in here. Hey, I want to blah, 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 learn more about this business, or I'm also looking for things like nuclear waste treatment centers or iguana raising, breeding activities or what have you. Okay, and then you can also put in this code out there, so that this is making sure that you're not a computer that's automatically just pulling data off of the database. When you do that, you hit send, and it'll send you to the web page. Okay, you're going to remember, you're going to see this. You like that business, you want to go back, hit the back shaft on there, and you're going to find other businesses, and you can do the same thing we just did before. Click on there, learn more about the business, etc. Okay, so I hope that has been useful to you. This is Brian Stevens. My company is called Legacy Venture Group, but we did this on BuyBizFL.com. If you want to learn more tips and ideas about our company, how to buy a business, how to sell a business, and for that matter, you can go to our website at BuyBizFL.com, where we are selling America's best businesses. If you own a business, or you even want to learn more about that, you can also text BuyBizUSA, BuyBizUSA, to the number 22828, and we'll send you a business seller success guide. I'm going to have to update these numbers, I guess, pretty soon, getting towards the end of the year. You can also email us at biz@buybizusa.com. My name is Brian Stevens. Our phone number's here. You can also find us on LinkedIn. Just type in BuyBizUSA into any one of the social media, and you're going to find out something for myself or my great crew. Take care. Make great things happen. Find that business of your dreams. Don't give up. Work hard. Find the right thing. Ask the right questions. And if you want to know some of the next steps, reach out to us or go to our website and learn about things like how to determine seller's discretionary earnings, how to do the right sort of things for due diligence, how to find people that can help me with buying the business, good attorneys or accountants and all that sort of stuff. We're here to help. Take care. Adios. Thank you, folks. Bye-bye.